loss of 9. Brings up second down and 19 for the Knights. Man in motion, in trouble in his own end zone. Perry got to get rid of it. He does and completes the pass. And it's a first down and more for the Knights up near the 40. Incredible recovery by Vanguard. Javon Chappell, the receiver, and lots of yak yards, if you will, by Chappell. Yards after catch.
Vanguard ready to go already.
Spotted at the 38-yard line, first down and 10, $1:46 to play here in the opening quarter. Here's the handoff. Brooks ball is out here, and there's a fumble, and Forrest thinks they have it.
Let's see Forrest.
They do. The Wildcat sideline erupts.
And that's exactly what we said. The Wildcat defense needed to figure a way to stop the Vanguard offense. They would not do well in the shootout, and they do come up with a big turnover.
And turnovers could be a huge key, as they often are in this game, as the Knights cough it up in their own territory. The Wildcats jump on it and now have the football right back, first down and 10 at the Vanguard 41. Connor Fiegel, can they strike again quickly? Looking to throw near side. Delivers. Barney with the catch inside the 30 for another first down.
The play calling there was great. They brought a receiver, Chad Dukes, in motion all the way to the far outside. Barney cut to the inside. The defender went with Dukes on the outside. Barney was right there in the flat, wide open.
Gain of 12. Connor Fiegel, 7 for 7 through the air in an impressive first quarter. This time hands off to Jonathan Williams, and Williams down towards the 25, stopped at the 26.
Guy Farmer on the stop there, 36.
Guy Farmer, son of the head coach of the Vanguard Knights, with the tackle. Under a minute now left to play. It's second down and 7 at the 26 for Forrest. And clock ticking. Tie game, 7-all. And a pretty exciting first quarter as this great rivalry is renewed. Fiegel back to throw. To the end zone he goes. In and out of the hands of his intended wide receiver, Dukes.
A lot of hand fighting there between the two, the defender and the receiver. Great no call. Wait, the official.
Well, Dukes had his hand on that and could not call it in. Now, was that a compliment towards the Zebras, Schmitty?
I just said it was a good no call.
Man. Damning with faint praise.
First incompletion for Connor Fiegel on the evening.
7 of 8 now through the air. Connor Fiegel, terrific quarter of play for him. He's going to throw it again over the middle. And a little bit of an alligator run there by J.J. Varney, who had it and dropped it.
You may get a roughing the passer call. You do.
Yes, right.
15 yards. They hit him with he took about 2 steps after he threw the football to hit him. That was an easy call for the officials.
Fiegel hit hard.
That's going to give them a new set of downs.
And that's going to be, as you say, a first down for the Wildcats with 25 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
You can't have turnovers and you can't have dumb penalties. Vanguard's had both in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes.
So new life in this drive for Forrest. First down and 10 at the Vanguard 14. Handoff, Jonathan Williams. He's looking for the corner inside the 5. Wrestled down at the 3.
Said he stayed in bounds. That'll probably be the last play of the quarter.
This just in, Schmitty. Williams, tough guy to bring down.
He is a tough guy to bring down.
And that clock stops with 6.5 seconds left to play in the quarter, but that's going to be first and goal for the Cats. inside the 4-yard line, and that is the end of the quarter. Vanguard scored first to take a 7-0 lead. Forrest answered back to tie it at 7, and the Wildcats knocking on the door again as we change ends in the annual Forrest Vanguard rivalry.
Home insurance, car insurance, motorcycle insurance. Whatever your insurance needs, the McDonald Allstate Agency has you covered. Call the McDonald Allstate Agency for all your insurance needs at 352-622-2333. That's 352-622-2333. Are you in good hands? HDG Hotels is your destination for an affordable, inviting night stay. Whether you choose the Holiday Inn Express in Silver Springs, the Howard Johnson's on Highway 27 and I-75, or the Sleep In and Suite on I-75 at the Bellevue exit. HDG Hotels is a good and restful night's stay. Now back for the second quarter, Tom J.
So we flip the field and the Wildcats moving left to right here on your radio as they have what has turned out to be not a first down. They're going to say it's second and about a half a yard, Schmitty, inside the 4-yard line, but not quite a first down. So second and inches for the Wildcats, and Fiegel going to operate from under center this time. Hands off, up the middle goes Williams, trying to get a second effort to the right side and did not get the first down. Maybe a loss of a yard that time from Jonathan Williams. Great pursuit that time by the Knights defense.
I think the second effort cost him there.
So the Knights defense back, the Wildcats up slightly. Ball spotted just inside the 5-yard line. Third down and 1 and then some. And again, Fiegel under center. Going to throw in play action, rolling to his left. Nobody home, and he has to throw it out of the back of the end zone. And that will bring up fourth down, Schmitty.
Decision time. 4th and 1. Do you take the 3 points, or do you go for it 4th and 1?
Going to come over and discuss it. Fiegel coming over to talk to one of his coaches, and he's going to stay out on the field, it looks like.
A lot of faith in your senior quarterback. Connor's dad standing just below us on the rail. He's watching his son intently.
It's 4th and a long one. Fiegel hands off. Williams up the middle. And he's got the first down. He has got the first down. Vanguard started off the field, Schmitty, assuming that they had stopped him. And the Forest coach is saying, get under center, let's snap this thing. Vanguard's defense is out of place.
The referee held the game and wouldn't allow Forest to snap the football.
Vanguard, half of the Vanguard defense, Schmitty, was nearly all the field celebrating,
and the ref still let the clock run. What has the referee done? I don't know what he's done. He's lost his mind. Vanguard ran off the field thinking they had it stopped. The ball spotted, and instead of letting Forrest snap it,
and it's 1st and goal nonetheless from inside the 2. Williams up the middle again and short of the goal line.
That is an egregious error by the White Hat. That may be one of the worst calls I've seen in the 4 years we've been doing football.
It appears as though the officials.
I don't care. You don't have to let them get their team back on the field. They chose to run off the field. That referee just cost Forrest a touchdown.
Fiegel again under center on 2nd and goal, and he's going to try to keep it himself across the left side. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Luckily, it doesn't come back to haunt the Wildcats, but that was a horrible call by the official.
And Connor Fiegel, every single play from inside the 5-yard line since the start of the second quarter, he operated from under center, which is not what we often see out of Fiegel in this Forest offense. But the Wildcats Went for it on 4th and 1. Got the first down and finally were able to punch it in, and the extra point up and good, and Forrest with 14 unanswered points, and they take a 14-7 lead over the Knights.
The key there, Tom, not only the turnover, but turning the turnover into points.
Taking advantage of it, no question. So as it turns out, the curious call there by the officials to allow Vanguard defense to get set after Vanguard's defense, more than half of them were nearly off the field thinking that they had stopped Forrest short of the first down, when in fact the Wildcats had picked up the first down rather easily, gaining 2 yards on a play they only needed 1 on.
And the ball was set for play. I don't understand what the referee was doing there, unless he may be a Vanguard graduate. That's all I can figure. Oh, wait, they don't let them referee these games.
We hope not. So Duarte going to boot it away for Forrest with 10:02 to play in the first half, and it's been a good one so far. 14-7 Wildcats. Taken, bounces once at the 14, taken at the 12, that time by Jenkins. Davari Jenkins run out of bounds across the 25 at about the 27.
Boy, that was very fortuitous, because Jenkins can take it to the house at any time. And it looked for a second there that if he got to pass that one defender, he had the sideline all to himself.
A couple of games last night involving Marion County team, Schmitty. Westport losing in overtime at home to Umatilla 34-31, in a game we'll talk a little bit more about later. North Marion losing up in Alabama to Hoover 38-14 in a game we watched on ESPN2. Here's the handoff to Javon Chapel, and the ball is loose again. One official saying that, wow.
He immediately wiped it and held up 2 hands, 2 fingers. That ball looked like it was out.
So the official saying he was down, and that's how it's going to be. A loss of 2, though. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. Javon Chapel, Knights lucky to have that one back. And Perry rolling to his left, dumps it off. Ball caught by Moses Minchin, who gets across the 40.
And how about Nicosi Perry moving players around, getting his wide receiver there, does not panic, being chased by a Division I commit that's on his heels. The nerve doesn't get to him. He stays poised and completes the pass.
None other than Devontae Jeffs. And sacked on the play this time is Perry. Jalen Gadsden, the senior defensive back, is the one who wrestled him to the ground with 9 minutes to play here in the first half.
That safety blitz got there and was able to get negative yards.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15 for Vanguard at their own 35. Compact setup right here this time for Vanguard. And a little sweep play to the near side. Gain of maybe 2 that time for, it looks like Ray's on the carry.
A jet sweep is bread and butter, and Forrest played it perfectly.
Gillespie, the ball carrier, maybe picked up 2, but now it's 3rd down and 13 for Vanguard. Nicosi Perry has 3 wide receivers stacked to the near side. Looks far side instead. The pass is bobbled by the receiver late. Did he haul it in?
He caught it.
He did catch it and stayed inbounds into Wildcat territory all the way down to the 41.
How good was that throw by Perry? The ball was there as late.
Perry laid it right in his hands, under 8 minutes to play in the half. This time, stopped in the backfield, wrapped up is Johnny Wyman. And it looks like Jaquan Bradham, another senior defensive lineman for the Wildcats, responsible for that tackle. So many, as we've said before, Schmitty, so many senior playmakers for the Wildcats.
You got to build the tradition back.
So it'll be a young team, though, next year for head coach Skip Austin. But this is the year he's built for. Perry, back to throw, near side. Swings it over, caught by Green. DeMontavious Green on the reception. They'll spot the football at the 41-yard line, back at the original line of scrimmage. 14-7, the Wildcats leading the Knights. And Perry back to throw. Lobs one far side, down the sidelines. It is caught by Darren Lake. That man again. 4 receptions now for Lake here in the first half.
A former HTG Hotels player of the game. We knew he had the ability.
Darren Lake, it's first down and 10 for the Knights at the 10-yard line. So the Knights knocking on the door. A little end around this time. Looking for yardage across the 10. Headed to the corner. Knocked out of bounds inside the 5.
Forrest did a good job stringing that out. Just he was still able to get to the corner there the last little bit.
Dante Murray on the carry. Second down and goal for Vanguard at the 4-yard line. High snap. Perry going to keep it himself up the middle, looking for the end zone. Touchdown.
Was he not down? I thought he must have spun off of a player because it looked like he was spun down. He may have rode the player, hit the player's body, and come across.
Well, it appeared that his left knee was awfully close to touching the ground and being down. There's no way to look at it now. He's in there for the touchdown, and it may not have quite touched the ground, or Schmitty, it could have been touching his would-be tackler on the way down,
which is quite possible.
So, nonetheless, it seemed like sort of a broken play that time with the high snap. Perry tucked it under, took it himself, up the middle, 5 yards for the touchdown. And we're an extra point away from being tied. High snap, and it is blocked. Jalen Gadsden blocks the extra point attempt from Lucas Klein.
Check that. It'll be Chad Dukes actually with the block.
It was Dukes, not Gadsden.
But that was precipitated by the high snap. It's about a 5-foot high snap. They needed about 2.5 feet.
Well, a high snap on the previous play, and they got a touchdown. High snap on the extra point, and it was blocked.
And how many times in the 4 years we've done these games does that 1 point come back to haunt somebody?
It could in a close game. It's certainly a rivalry game like this one, and this is a rivalry like no other. 14-13. Vanguard trims Forest's lead to 1 with 6:27 remaining here in the first half. How about Nkosi Perry on that drive? 4 for 4 through the air for 60 yards.
With 2 incredible catches by Darren Lake.
Yep. And a good job a couple of times by Perry to scramble, get out of trouble, and be patient enough to wait for Lake to throw that strike at just the right time.
Number 40, Lucas Klein, sets the kickoff for tonight.
Remember, this has been a problem for them jumping off sides on this kickoff.
And Klein gets it away into the end zone, and it's a touchback for the Wildcats. They'll start first down and 10 from their own 20. 6:26 to play here in the first half.
The ball game we thought we'd get, the one we've been working towards. Skip Austin had circled 3 years into this. He thought his program would be where they could compete countywide, and tonight they're showing how the hard work has got them here.
Yeah, they've taken some tough losses, no question, to their longtime rival over the past 3 years. And an official timeout. It's a water timeout, water break for these two teams. 14-13 Forest with 6:26 to play in the second quarter.
Let's take a 30-second timeout. You listen to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week on WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
And Clark.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week, brought to you by the Kevin McDonald Allstate Agency. We're on the campus of Forest High School for the once again to renew the rivalry of Forest Vanguard. Here on the play-by-play, Forest High graduate Tom James.
42nd meeting between these two. 42nd, Schmitty. And Chad Dukes taking the handoff, taking it near side, picks up about 3 on the play. Brought down about the 23-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats. 42nd meeting between these two. Many of the early meetings in this series in the 70s and 80s dominated by the Forest Wildcats. In that day and time, Forest was viewed as the football school in Ocala, Vanguard viewed as the basketball school. Vanguard's football program has really come alive in recent years, and they have now taken the lead in the all-time series. The pass, the dump off that time to Harley Hudson, and it's incomplete.
They called that incomplete, and it looked like a catch, but then he didn't come up with it.
5:37 left to play in the second quarter. 14-13 Forest. The Wildcats' last win in this series was back in 2011 on this field. They defeated the Knights 17-14. And Schmitty, we started doing football games the next season. Every one we've done has been a Vanguard win. Nice pass that time. Eagle connects with Hudson. Pass complete. He floated that one in there, Schmitty. Pass complete right up to the 40-yard line. They'll spot it right on the 40.
That took a while to get there.
It did. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. He floated that one. Knew exactly what he was doing now. Hudson was waiting on it.
We said we'd hear a lot of the names Hudson and Varney tonight if Forrest was to be effective.
We've seen Varney a couple of times hobbling around a little bit on that. We believe it's an injured ankle. Jonathan Williams, the ball carrier, and he is stacked up in the backfield. Hot up armor for a big loss by the coach's son, Ty Farmer. That'll be a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
We asked the coaching staffs about this game, what did you have to do to get your kids motivated this week? They said, both of them said, just told them what school they were playing.
That's about it. That's all you have to do. Eagle looking to throw. Checks off left, looks right, and connects to Dukes on the near side. Gain of about 7, and then I'll spot it up at the 45, and it'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. They've got to get right to the 50-yard line to move the chains again with 4:25 to play, second quarter.
He was able to get back the lost yardage and half the 10 yards for the first down to make this a manageable 3rd down.
Third down and 5 for the Wildcats. Both these teams 6 and 2 coming into this game. The pass, far side, it is batted away by number 25, Avante Krim.
Broke on the ball and was able to get his hand in there right as the ball arrived.
Fiegel throws that a half step later, and that's a pick 6 for Vanguard. Instead, it's a 4th and 5 for Forest.
We know the leg that's out there now. He's able to kick it deep. Let's see if he can pin him deep again.
Julius Duarte, the punter. He pinned him inside the 5 early in the first quarter. And this ball right up in the air. He felt some pressure. It bounces at the Vanguard 45, goes out of bounds. A terrible kick that time by the Wildcats. A net 10-yard punt.
And that could be attributed to Adrian Hope getting through the line, getting past the blocker, and getting in Duarte's face.
No question about it.
Adrian Hope caused that bad punt.
So Vanguard, on a bad snap, missed an extra point earlier in the second quarter. And now on some pressure, a tough punt by the Wildcats up the middle. Javon Chappell up to the 50. Gain of about 5 for Vanguard. Clock running, under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Second and a long 5. Nikosi Perry directing traffic. He's got 3 wide receivers with another in motion. Perry looking to throw. Dumps it off. Ball overthrown as he was looking for Green on the near side. And quickly, it's 3rd and long for the Knights.
Devontae Jess back into the football game. And if you watch Devontae Jess, he's taking 2 and 3 blockers on him, and it allows the Forest defense to do a lot of scheming.
Big play for both teams right now. And they're going to hand it off to Chappell, and he's got the first down and more for the Knights. And he's still moving those legs. Down to the 25. Javon Chappell thought Forrest Schmidt looked like for a moment that they would get him in the backfield, and he broke free.
Very good, tough running by Chappell.
Pick up of 21. And it's first down and 10 at the 25 of Forest with 3:20 and ticking left here in the half. Perry gives off this time. It's Wyman. Johnny Wyman drops in the backfield. And the tackle made that time by Smith. Again, Tyler Smith, a junior linebacker. Boy, he's going to be one of these team leaders for us next year. No question about it. And a loss of 8 for the Knights. Puts the football on the 32-yard line. Clock ticking with 2:42 left in the half. The Wildcats leading the Knights 14-13. Perry back to throw. Feeling pressure. Rolls left. Still running with it. Tucks it under. Gets down inside the 25. He'll be well shy of the first down.
Really an athletic move by Perry there to get around Devontae Jess. But Devontae Jess in the backfield blew that play up and made Perry make an athletic play.
So it's 3rd down and 10. Perry got back to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 with wide receivers all over the place this time. Again, for Vanguard. We've got Gillespie in the backfield. They throw. It's complete. It's going to be close. It's going to be close to the first down. Damari Jenkins with the reception. Perry looking at the official saying, it looks like a first down to me. Where are they going to spot it? They put it right down. It looks like right on the 15-yard line. Now, if that's the case, Schmitty, they may have to measure. The official's discussing.
Wow, without a measurement, he calls first down. That seemed like a pretty generous spot to me.
So the chains moved.
I thought he was down closer to the 60.
2:22 to play now in the half. The Knights on the move. 1st and 10 at the Forest 15. In motion this time. Moses mentioned. Perry throws to Mention. Far side. For the corner, he's in there for the touchdown. Mention.
That swing route.
And the Knights are back in front. Moses mentioned in motion that time from left to right. Nobody picked him up, Schmidt. And Perry found him wide open in the flat. Mention did the rest. Got into the end zone for the touchdown. It's 19-14. And it appears as though Vanguard will kick it and go for one. And the extra point is up and good from Lucas Klein. 20-14. The Knights lead the Cats. 2:14 left to play here in the first half.
Oh, a change of fortune, Tom, that quick.
A back and forth first half. There's no question about it. Vanguard struck first. Forrest came back with 14 unanswered points, and now Vanguard with 2 unanswered touchdowns to retake the lead.
Girls golf, let's get off the last 3A district championship qualifying for the second straight season.
So the Wildcats will get it back with 2:14 to play here in the second quarter. More than enough time for Connor Fiegel and company to make its way down the field. Nkosi Perry, another impressive drive, 6 of 7 through the air, 86 yards and a touchdown. And that is his second quarter thus far. And Klein to kick off. He drives this one. It will be taken inside the 5. Dropped momentarily. Picked up again. It looks like Dukes on the return. Gets up across the 15-yard line. Dropped at the 17. 2:07 left. That's how much time the Wildcats have.
I don't understand why both deep men were an arm's touch away from each other. Caused some confusion back there and cost for us some quality yards.
So, Schmidt, what is Skip Austin's plan this time with just over 2 minutes left with the ball on the 17?
Your senior can throw the football. You put your trust in your senior.
Fiegel back to throw, rolling to his right, under pressure, still looking across the field, over the middle. It's caught by Varney, who slips, stays upright, and gets up near the 45. What a job by Fiegel on the front end of that play, and by Varney on the back end.
You trust your senior quarterback and let him throw the ball down the field.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Clock ticking, 1:52 to play first half. They've got it at their own 43. But Forrest now out of the shadow of their own end zone and in business. Fiegel back to throw, looking left. Throws, completes the pass across midfield. First down across the 40-yard line, and that time it's Hudson on the reception. Gillespie makes the tackle. First and 10 at the 38 for the Wildcats. Fiegel looking near side, throws in and out of the outstretched hands of J.J. Varney. He had both mitts on it and let it scoot through. So the clock stops, minute 25 to play in the second quarter.
You got to help your quarterback there and bring that ball in.
Ball on the 38-yard line for the Wildcats. It's second down and 10. J.J. Varney split wide to the right. Harley Hudson split right next to Varney. Fiegel throwing. It's intercepted inside the 5. Picked off that time by Davari Jenkins. Fiegel just overthrew everybody. A flag comes out on the back end of that play, but intercepted by Jenkins.
Let me tell you what happened there, Tom. Harley Hudson went up to the line, looked at the referee to make sure he was on the line. He was still looking at the referee when the ball was snapped and paused for about a second and a half before he broke.
Couldn't ever catch up to the play.
You're going to get a block in the back here on the return, though.
So, started off as an impressive drive for the Wildcats in an attempt to catch Vanguard on the scoreboard before the end of the half. Winds up with Connor Fiegel getting picked off by Dabari Jenkins inside the 5. The ball is at the 10-yard line. That's where Vanguard will start.
And they need to be careful. Forrest needs to be careful here to let Vanguard score, because Vanguard gets the ball to start the second half.
There's enough time for Vanguard to do damage. $1:10 left to play in the half. And stunning development here. Vanguard not in any place to take a knee. Pass complete. It's Darren Lake. Clock continues to tick, under a minute now. Lake, reception for 7 yards on that play. 3 wide receivers near side on 2nd and 3. Perry rolling right, looking, still looking, taken out.
They stayed in bounds on it.
Stayed in bounds, and the clock continues to tick. 3rd down and 3, no gain on the play. 32 seconds and ticking. And Perry, not in any hurry here.
Looks like Vanguard's just going to be happy to go into half up by 6.
And Perry now under center, and he's going to take a knee, and that will be your first half.
Hold on. Skip Austin took a timeout.
Well, it makes it 4th down.
He's going to make him kick it.
So a heads-up play by Coach Austin that time. Anything can happen on a punch, Betty.
They get a good return back or get a bad punt or something, get where they can take a shot towards the end zone, maybe get a field goal here. Anything can happen. Coming up at halftime, Kevin McDonald of the McDonald Allstate Agency will join us on air. Thanks to Kevin for all he does for high school sports. We'll have him here in the press box. Richard Hildebrandt will be here with halftime stats. And the Forest Marching Band is going to perform at halftime.
42nd meeting between these two teams. And Vanguard now with the punter coming out. It's Calvante Murray. They put a couple of seconds back on the clock, Schmitty. 14 seconds now left. And Calvante Murray is standing just on this side of the goal line. At the 1, it's a low snap. He gets it away with the left foot, but it hits at the 32, takes a Vanguard roll up to the 44 with 8 seconds. Now 7.4 to play. That could have been a really bad situation for Vanguard that they avoided on that play.
Luckily, it took a Vanguard bounce there.
So 7.4 seconds left in the half. It did bounce about 10 more yards for Vanguard on an ugly punt.
If you get a quick pass out of bounds, Duarte has a leg. You're still able to get 3 points here, maybe. Denellen in the second quarter, 28, the Villages, 0.
Of course, we'll have all your scores on the Marion County scoreboard on week 10 of the high school football season coming up at the half. So here we go, 7.4, Fiegel, low snap, takes it, looking downfield, heaves one into the corner, and it is knocked away, incomplete, and that is the first half.
Well, Tom, it's 20-14 Vanguard. At the end of the first half, we got the football game we thought we would do.
We got a football game that is only going to get better, I think, in the 3rd and 4th quarter. These two teams very evenly matched, it feels like, through 2 quarters of play to me tonight, as Vanguard takes a 20-14 lead to the locker room in the 42nd meeting between Forest and Vanguard. Living up to billing, no question, tonight.
The biggest thing I see here is even though Vanguard has hit some big plays through the air, the Vanguard offense does not look as together as they have all year. They're being disrupted by the Forest defense. The Forest defensive scheme is very good. On the other side of the ball, though, Forest is eating up yardage, but they're not quite making the play when they need to get the yardage they need. They've had some, couple plays where they've got to cross midfield and then had to punt. It's a battle. It's a chess game back and forth. But I think right now Forest has the edge, even though it isn't on the board, the way they've thrown off the high-powered offense of the Vanguard Knights.
Forest defense, it feels like they have caught up somewhat to Vanguard's offense from year to year. From this year to where they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the Forest defense is making plays against this talented Vanguard offense.
This isn't the Forest defense that gave up 55 4 years ago.
Not even close. Not even close. But still, they missed an extra point, but Vanguard leads the way at the half, 20-14, in the 42nd meeting between Forest and Vanguard.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Kevin McDonald, the McDonald Allstate agent, joins us right here on the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. You're listening to us on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local
on The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala. Prestige. It's all there in our name.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sandbar & Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sandbar & Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar & Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. and he's buying you a drink. Eaton's beats Sad Bar and Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Are you looking for a durable farm fence to keep your horses enclosed, or a beautiful vinyl fence to give that finishing touch to your home? Seminole Fence has over 20 years of experience in providing quality fence products and services for farm and residential properties. Let them surround your property with a fence that provides privacy, security, and stunning appeal. Don't wait. Contact them today at 352-208-0959 for a free estimate. Seminole Fence, working hard to build fences and harder to build relationships.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
We're offering free trial.
Welcome back live to Forest High School. It's the 42nd meeting between the Forest Wildcats and the Vanguard Knights, the McDonald All-State Agency Marion County Friday night high school football game of the week. And the Knights lead the Cats 20-14 at the half. And we want to join, welcome to the halftime show, Kevin McDonald from the Kevin McDonald All-State Agency, also chairman of the Ocala-Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership here in Ocala, and of course the guy that helps us get on the air every week as our great sponsor, our title sponsor of high school football in Marion County. Kevin, thanks for being with us. And again, I ask you every year, and I know you're never shy to tell us why it means so much to you to be involved in high school sports.
You know, athletics in high school was a great experience for me. I feel like it's just a great experience for any of the kids that participate. It's just a pleasure to, have an opportunity to play a part. And, a lot of folks don't get a chance to get out to the games, but it's fun to keep in touch with it and be able to listen to broadcasts. And so it's our pleasure to be a part of sponsoring the broadcast.
You played football in a Wildcat uniform.
100 years ago, I think.
Not quite that many. Not quite that many. What are your memories of playing in the great rivalry in those days?
Yeah, it was Booster Stadium in my day, and we shared Booster Stadium with Vanguard. And when it was Forest Vanguard, it was home and home. We were both playing on our home field, so it was always a big rivalry, and it continues to be a great rivalry today. The traditions changed a little bit, but it's just I just remember you still get butterflies in your stomach. But man, Fridays were special. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
In those days, we were talking off in the break about how in those days Vanguard was so successful as a basketball school. Forest was known at the time, with all the success, the two state titles under Coach Hall in the 70s, Forest was known as the football school, and Forest really had control of the rivalry in those days. Was that your experience in the years that you played in it?
Fortunately, it was. I mean, the years when I played, we had a good group of guys, and had some success, won districts, won regionals, and we were able to control the home rivalry during that period. But it's always a spirited game and always a lot of fun.
You were also telling me that how many players on your team, your senior class, actually went on to play Division I college football.
Well, I know Pete Weaver went to Georgia Tech. I know John Cannon went to Air Force Academy. Obviously, Rick Tootin went on to Miami and then transferred to Florida State. Had a lot of, Leroy Jennings, you mentioned, was I think played ball after high school. Great running back. We had a lot of great guys, and it's fun because there's quite a few. I just saw Jeff Tucker downstairs, and saw quite a few guys. Scott Armstrong before the game. A lot of guys that played together. So obviously Scott Armstrong graduated a year ahead of me, and everybody remembers his career. So a lot of good ball players.
A lot of good players on both sides of this rivalry through the years. And one of those guys we lost in recent weeks, Tyrone Young, great quarterback, great leader, one of the great players for guys like us growing up in Ocala. He was a little older than we were, a guy that a lot of kids looked up to in those days as kind of a local hero for the Forest Wildcats.
And there was no reason for him to know my name, but Tyrone always walked up, called me by name. Just always a real genuine individual. Great loss to the Wildcat Nation. I mean, Tyrone was a class act.
No question. They're honoring Brent Hall.
Yep.
Tonight, Brent Hall, the first head coach of Forest High, led those two state title teams in the 1970s. I'm assuming you played for Coach Simmons at Forest.
Yes, indeed.
But do you remember any recollection of Coach Hall growing up?
It was just a little bit before I was really paying close attention to it. We started playing pretty close attention when I was in middle school, and that was right when Coach Simmons came on. So, but certainly remember, the records and some of the great players.
Well, Kevin McDonald from the McDonald All-State Agency, again, year in and year out, appreciate your support of our broadcast here on WOCA. Tom Schmitz, myself, Buddy Martin, Richard Hildebrand, Luke in the studio. All thank you so much for your support and helping make this all happen for us.
It's our pleasure, and we've got a team at the agency. We've got 4 locations and 20 of us working together, and we're all proud to be a part of it.
Good crew. All right. Thank you, Kevin McDonald. On the McDonald All-State Agency, Marion County Friday night high school football game of the week, our title sponsor once again this year. We'll come back with your scores from around Marion County on Week 10. Most of those games happening tonight, but a couple that we'll recap that occurred last night, and we'll have your first half stats from Richard Hildebrand. At the half, Vanguard leads Forest 20-14. I'm Tom James. We're coming right back on the McDonald All-State Agency, Marion County Friday night high school football game of the week, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
Florida State looks to rebound from a tough loss to Georgia Tech last Saturday by welcoming in the Syracuse Orange in Doak Campbell Stadium right here on WOCA The Source, brought to you by Tri-Eagle Sales, your local Bud Light distributor in Marion County. Kickoff is at 12 p.m. this Saturday, Florida State versus Syracuse, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA The Source.
That at least as far as Volks.
Welcome back live, the Marion County Friday night high school football game of the week, brought to you by the McDonald Allstate Agency. Vanguard leading Forest 20-14 as we are still a few minutes away from second half action. Quickly, let's get you your scores from around the county. Dunellen 42-0 in the third quarter over the Villages. Bellevue leading Crescent City 7-6 in the third quarter. Rattlers looking for their first win of the season, that's right. Trinity Catholic 24, Trinity Prep 14 down in Winter Park. OCA and Bishop McLaughlin, no score and no report from the St. John's All-State Academy game. Umatilla last night in overtime defeated Westport 34-31, and up in Alabama, in the Birmingham area, in Hoover, Alabama, in a game seen live on ESPN2, North Marion lost its first game of the season 38-14 to 8-2 Hoover. I'm joined now live by Richard Hildebrandt to kind of walk us through the stats briefly in the first half of the Forest Vanguard game.
Yeah, Tom, let me give you the stats. It's been a very, very balanced game, like we thought at the dogfight rivalry. Tom James versus Richard Hildebrandt. We saw that coming.
We are Forest guy, the Vanguard guy.
Forest guy, Vanguard guy. We saw that coming. Perry, Nkosi Perry, 10 for 12, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground. He's been doing it all for Vanguard, with Lake and Meacham catching 56 yards for Meacham and 49 yards for Lake. Let's not count out Connor Fiegel. He's grown up. He's a senior. He's 13 for 17, 116 yards, 1 interception, 2 rushing TDs. Connor Fiegel's having a heck of a game. And that Williams guy, it takes more than one guy to tackle him. He's got 59 yards with 6 touches. And J.J. Varney and Harley Hudson, we called it, his 2 main targets. Varney's got 39 yards and Hudson's got 65. And I'm going to give you a stat that's weird for us on a Friday night game of the week. No penalties for Forest. Not one. And Vanguard only has 1 penalty. So that's very shocking for us. So it's a rivalry game. We've seen a little bit of it all. I think we're going to get exactly the same thing in the second half. What do you think, Tom?
It could go right down to the wire. But that penalty thing is something interesting because we've done games involving one or the other of these teams throughout this season with flags flying all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that Forest hasn't committed a penalty and Vanguard's only committed 1 so far in the half, and that 1 was late in the half on that interception that rubbed in all Forest last drive. So, yeah, interesting stats, and it should be a good game all the way. And, Richard, I think you're doing such a great job up here.
I appreciate it.
It might as well be you and I for the rest of the game. We don't need that other guy back, do we?
Vanguard Force guy, he's walking out of the way.
Look at that guy.
Oh, man.
Not really. We'll take a quick 1-minute break and come back with second half action. The Marion County Friday night high school football game of the week, brought to you by the McDonald Allstate Agency. Vanguard 20, Forest 14. You're listening to 13 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
GoFlow helps.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. We're about a minute and a half away from getting this halftime over. You were listening to Tom James and Richard Hildebrand talk about the halftime stats and the scores from around the area. Tom James, I wanted to point out something to you. Trinity Catholic up at Trinity Academy, or I forget what Trinity did. Trinity Prep. Trinity and Trinity. That's all to worry about. If Trinity Catholic wins tonight's game, which they look like they're doing, a Trinity team that we thought was in a bad way this year at the beginning of the season will be district champs.
That's right. Well, they're undefeated in district play.
They are undefeated in district play.
2-7 on the season coming into this game tonight. 2-0 and 2 wins are in district play. Quickly, the game that many of us watched on ESPN2 as the kickoff about set to happen between Forest and Vanguard. On ESPN2, North Marion, its first loss of the season up in Hoover, Alabama, 38-14. The Colts headed to the playoffs anyways for their 16th straight year. What another year, a great year for the Colts. Tough game last night.
And this Colts team has a very real possibility of making it all the way to Orlando.
Yeah, and they learned a lot in a big game like that. National television, big lights, and a good quality opponent.
They played Ely earlier in the year, a very good team from South Florida. They played Booker T. Washington earlier this year. They have put themselves in position to understand big moments and big games.
Yeah, they have sharpened the blade, there's no question. Forest to kick it off to Vanguard to start the second half.
Speaking of big moments and big games, it gets no bigger than the second half here between these two county rivals.
Julius Duarte going to boot it away for the Wildcats from left to right on your radio. High end-over-end kick taken at the 5-yard line and brought back across the 25. It's Calvante Murray on the return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Knights will start. First down and 10.
Carry on.
The Knights lead it 20-14. They took a 7-0 lead early in the first quarter. Forest came back with 14 unanswered points to take a 14-7 lead. And then the Knights retaliated with 2 consecutive touchdowns. They missed an extra point, and that's how we get 20-14. Dropped in the backfield is Javon Chappell. A slow-to-develop play. Nicosi Perry trying to give it to Chappell on the way by, and he was tackled for a loss.
Nicosi Perry was in a squatting position when he handed that ball off.
So a loss of 7 for Vanguard on first down. It'll be second down and 17. Early stages of the third quarter. Crossing pattern. It's Darren Lake. He's got a first down and more across the 40-yard line. What a strike that time. Thrown by Nicosi Perry.
How about the strength of Lake to keep that play going and get an extra 2 yards?
Quick down and in that time, a slant pattern. Lake, his favorite target, as you've talked about. First and 10 at their own 40. Still in the opening minute here of the third quarter. Perry.
Oh, we got a false start on Lake this time.
And I think Richard Hildebrand jinxed us. Talking about how few penalties there were in the first half, and then we get one on the second play from scrimmage.
Very strange defensive set there, though. Forest had 9 guys within a yard of the line of scrimmage. If you get behind that, you got a lot of real estate you can eat up.
So it'll be 1st and 15 as the penalty on that night offensive line. Devon Chappell, the running back in the backfield. In motion goes Murray, and Perry going to keep it himself. Right up the middle, across midfield. Can he go all the way? He's finally caught from behind, dragged down at the 20-yard line by Tyler Smith. But Nkosi Perry showing his athleticism.
And that's exactly what I said. You had 9 guys within 2 yards of the offensive line. Perry saw that, took it right out center. Once he got past the first 2 yards, there was nobody. He had to be caught from behind.
And off the ground, the ball is on the ground, and the Wildcats have it. What a turn of events. Jaquan Bradham, the right place, right time.
Perry and Chappell never had a good exchange, and Jaquan Bradham right there, the ball bounced right to him.
And that is the second lost fumble for Vanguard in this football game with just a little more than a minute and a half into the second half. A big turnover as Vanguard was driving. And here come the Wildcats. The handoff this time, number 22, C.J. Motley. He's dropped for a 1-yard loss on first down.
As I was at halftime, I saw a lot of the North Marion High School football team walking around the stands and the concession area. Watkins, number 1 for North Marion, with his blonde locks, the running back, he was walking around. A lot of North Marion players back from Hoover, Alabama, taking in this football game.
24 hours after that loss at Hoover, 38-14 last night on ESPN2. And Connor Fiegel rolling to his left, lobs it down far sidelines. It's broken up just across midfield. It was intended at that time by intended for Harley Hudson.
Harley Hudson, great defensive back play there. That was intercepted. Harley Hudson broke up the interception.
So 3rd down and 11. The ball for the Wildcats on their own 24-yard line. Forrest going from left to right here in the third quarter. And the Wildcats in their pewter gray uniforms, tops and bottoms with the green and gold trim. Again, Vanguard, white jerseys, navy blue bottoms, red trim. Fiegel rolling left on 3rd and 11. Throwing, pass, caught, first down, Wildcats. Pass caught by Alan Miller.
Thought that was going to be Varney. 82, though. That's the eyes. They're going on me.
Alan Miller. And the ball at the 42-yard line. Gain of 18 on that connection.
We got an injury time. Let's take an injury timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA.
The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
We're here!
9:18 and ticking here. Early stages, third quarter on the McDonald Allstate Agency, Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. Connor Fiegel on first down, back to throw. Rolling to his right, flag comes out, and he gets across the 45-yard line, but it's going to be a holding penalty against the offense. Clock stops with exactly 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. So this will back the Cats up quite a bit. Play took a long time to develop. as Fiegel kept rolling and rolling and rolling to his right, finally tucked it under, but the holding penalty is going to bring this one way back.
That's a spot foul, so it's going to make it looks like about what, Tom? First and 25, 24?
No. First and...
Oh, yeah, it's booster field for first down.
Ball on the 26-yard line. Got to get to the Vanguard 48 for the first. First and 24. And off this time looks like Motley up for a gain of 4. It's Williams instead on the carry, not Motley. And Harley Hudson, the wide receiver, comes off the field. Fiegel on second and 22, 23. He's got his tall wide receiver, J.J. Varney, to the near side. Motley and Williams both in the backfield flanking Fiegel. Fiegel back to throw. Now rolls right. Still looking. Under pressure. Throws it out of bounds and gets rid of it. That'll bring up third down for the Wildcats. Third and long.
And 4-23. And 4 didn't get up real fast.
Connor Fiegel took a hit right there. And he's trotting back out to the huddle, and I've seen him trot faster than that. Schmitty, you're right. He took a shot. Ball on the 29-yard line. Got to get to the Vanguard 48 for the first down. And Fiegel, under all kinds of pressure, swallowed up by Ray Wallace. Fiegel defenseless on that one, and he is coming off the field looking a little shaken up, Schmitty. And the Wildcats got punted away.
They do have a weapon at punter, though.
Yep, Julius Duarte is standing at his own 9-yard line. Gets the punt away end over end and bounces, takes a pretty good Forrest roll, lands at the 40 and stops. The 40 of the Knights.
Kind of knuckleball that came to a stop.
Like 11:03 left to play here, third quarter.
Like a chip shot.
Yes. Vanguard gets the football back. They lead it 20-14. 7:03 left to play here in the third quarter. What's going to give, Schmitty? Still a tight game.
They had to get something. I said turnovers. You need to turn those into points. Forrest was unable to do that time.
Vanguard was driving on their opening possession before coughing it up. And Nkosi, Perry, and crew going to try. Perry out of the shotgun, looking over the middle, lobs one, caught by Lake, down near the 30 before he is brought down by the tackler, O.J. Tucker.
O.J. Tucker immediately goes to the back judge and asks for the push-off because Lake did extend his arms and get Tucker off of him in coverage.
Quick snap, the handoff this time to Chappell. Schmitty, they snapped that next play before the chain gang, and it could even get set up from the previous first down. The ball at the 33-yard line of the Wildcats. Perry with 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. On 2nd and 12, Perry rolling right under pressure. still running, and out of bounds goes Perry. He gets hit pretty hard over there.
Devontae Jess took a bad angle towards Perry that time. It's something he's going to learn as he moves up to the next division, the angles he takes when he has a one-on-one with a quarterback like that.
Pick up a 3 that time.
3rd down and 9 tonight.
For Nicosi Perry. So it's 3rd and 9, under 6 minutes to play here, 3rd quarter. Devontae Jess came off the field for Forrest. Man in motion, Perry, quick throw. It led his receiver just a little too much that time, and it's incomplete.
You're in that no man's land here, though, where I believe Vanguard will go for it on 4th down.
It's 4th and 9. And knowing Edwin Farmer,
big play here.
Maybe. Do you think he'll take time out, though, to talk about it, Schmitty?
No, I think he's going for it.
Yeah. Yep, nothing to talk about. We're going. So 4th and 9. Perry takes the snap, throws near side, it's caught. Complete for the 1st down.
There's a flag on the play, though. There's a flag on the field. Holding. Wow, that's a killer.
Calvante Murray on the reception, but it'll get wiped out by a huge holding penalty against VHS.
I bet the punting team comes out now.
We shall see. The offense is headed to the sideline. So water break on the field with 5:31 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Vanguard 20, Forest 14.
Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week, brought to you by the McDonald Allstate Agency on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA.
The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. 5:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's Vanguard 20, Forest 14. Back on the play-by-play. Forest High School graduate, Tom.
Thank you, Schmitty. We've got Vanguard, just to balance things out, we've got a Vanguard grad doing our stats tonight, Richard Hildebrand. Here's the punt. In the air, pretty good with the left-footed, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 10.
Actually bounced back inbound, down to the 10.
That's ball 1st down and 10.
That's where the Wildcats will start. Vanguard, again, for the 2nd consecutive drive, had some movement in that drive. Got it again in Wildcat territory, but it stalled. This time it was a fumble. This time a holding penalty.
Forrest needs to advance the ball forward and get some momentum going
on this drive. Yes, you're right. 2nd possession of the 2nd half for the Wildcats. Chad Dukes in motion. And stops and takes the handoff. And Dukes gains 5 and then some up the middle.
I'm going to give him 4 actually on that. I think they didn't spot it very well.
So they'll spot it at the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Spiegel sprints back out onto the field, picking up the play from his coaching staff. 2 wide receivers coming near side. The customary 2 to the far side. And the far side is the weak side. Dukes again in motion. This time a handoff up the middle for maybe a yard that time. It's Jonathan Williams. 4:17 left to play here in the third quarter. And it's 3rd and long. 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. Big play here in the early stages of the second half for Forrest. Fiegel takes the snap. Under pressure, it's buried. Back there, number 81, Adrian Hope, doing the dance. He's the guy that dropped Fiegel for a big loss. And that'll bring up 4th down and 14 for the Wildcats, who will have to punt. Duarte will stand in his own end zone to boot this one away.
You can't keep having 3 and outs and letting that Vanguard offense back onto the field.
Here's Duarte, drops it, incredibly able to get that punt away. It was a low snap, and now a flag comes out in the end zone.
He didn't get it off, and nobody blocked it. If they didn't get any hand on this, and they didn't touch the ball, that's going to be roughing.
Well, let's see the call. It's a personal foul, roughing the kicker against Vanguard. My goodness. What a break for the Wildcats right there.
And I know the Vanguard faithful are saying they were all over that. It doesn't matter if you don't touch the football.
Right.
If you don't stop the football from going forward or touch it and alter its trajectory, and you run the kicker over, that's a penalty.
Well, the snap was low. Duarte caught it but dropped it, quickly picked it up. He was being swarmed over, somehow got the punt away. It was a low punt, but it didn't get blocked. I don't know how he got it away.
I don't either, but it's incredible. Great break for Forrest.
3 minutes left, and a 1st down and fresh life for the Wildcats in this drive. Fiegel throwing near side, caught, and another flag comes down.
It's a late flag. Let's see what the referee's got. The referee is pointing. The referee may be ejecting somebody.
Alan Miller made the catch.
The referee is following somebody. He may be throwing somebody out of this game.
See what the call is. Fiegel threw near side.
I think he's thrown 12 out of the football game.
Ray Wallace is number 12. And he is
thrown 12 out of the football game.
Vanguard is headed to...
He is ejected Allen out of the football game.
For what?
Had to have thrown a punch.
Well, the officials are going over to head coach Edwin Farmer to give him the explanation, but they just tossed Ray Wallace right out of this game.
I mean, in no hesitation.
No.
The referee followed him, pointed at him, told him to leave the field, and then threw him out of the game. And he's a big part of that Vanguard defense.
So just when it looked like Forrest's offense was stalling again, a huge penalty, a personal foul, roughing the kicker on Forrest's punt attempt out of its own end zone, gives Forrest a 1st down and the ball back, and now a personal foul and an ejection and another 1st down for the Wildcats.
And he's not available for the playoff on Monday now, and the school's going to get fined about $850.
My goodness. Ray Wallace, who is responsible for one of the sacks earlier in this game of Connor Fiegel. And he will not play the rest of the night. So it's 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats, now up at their own 44-yard line.
Whatever he did was very, very serious because there was no hesitation. He was just ejected.
Cats keep getting second chances and 3rd and 4th chances here on this drive. Hand off to Chad Dukes. Dukes running left side, spinning, picking up about 3 yards up towards the 47-yard line.
Big 65 had his head ripped off of him almost. He's down on one knee, now he's back up.
2:22 and counting left to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Colin Lewis leaving the game.
Interesting twists and turns that this football game has taken throughout.
Colin Lewis not wanting to listen to reason. He's angry and doesn't want to listen to reason. And Coach Skip Austin is over there telling him, don't get thrown out of this football game. It's starting to take on the feel of the biggest rivalry in the county as we get closer and closer to the fourth quarter.
Well, it has felt as though Vanguard was close to maybe breaking this thing open, but they haven't been able to quite do it yet here in the third quarter. They keep giving Forrest more chances. Over the middle, ball way overthrown over the head of J.J. Barney, who thought he was interfered with, but no call, no flag, and it's incomplete. And now it's 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats.
I don't know if he was interfered with, but they could have got definitely defensive holding if they'd wanted to call that.
He was Barney indicating that he felt like the defensive back had him by the right arm. No call. Under 2 minutes left to play. Here's third quarter.
There's a little anger starting to build on both sides of the football.
It's Forrest Vanguard. Fiegel looking to throw. Delivers the pass. Dropped by Barney. 1.5 first down near side. Would have been a first down, and Fiegel delivered that pass. No question.
Barney made the mistake of letting the ball get to his body. You have to extend your hands and catch that football. He let the ball get to his body and dropped the football. And that's the sure-handed leading receiver of this Forest High School team.
So the minute 48 in the quarter, the Wildcats would have had a first down, and this time they have to punt it away again. And what a kick. Beautiful kick. Fielded at the 7. Jenkins still has not been brought down as he crosses the 15.
He's got across the 15-yard line. Number 23, Ryman bringing down Colton Frazier.
Frazier on the tackle for the Wildcats. A little over 1.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. It's still 20-14 Vanguard. That was your score at the half. And if nothing else for the Wildcats, they have shifted the field on that punt and backed the Knights up for the first time in the half. Perry with 3 wide receivers. In trips near side. Throws well underthrown, intended for Green, but never had a chance. Incomplete.
Home insurance, car insurance, motorcycle insurance. Whatever your insurance needs, the McDonald Allstate Agency has you covered. Call the McDonald Allstate Agency for your insurance needs at 352-622-2333. That's 352-622-2333. Are you in good hands? And now back to Tom James.
$1:33 left. Third quarter. Perry, hands off. And brought down in the backfield by Devontae Jest on the tackle. That's your guy, Schmitty. Headed to Georgia Southern, where, of course, you played your college football.
I was not near the talent Devontae Jest is.
And Murray brought down, and now it's 3rd down and 16. Out of the shotgun, Perry standing at his own 4-yard line. Back to throw. He's feeling pressure. Rolling right. Over the middle. Connects with Lake. Breaks some tackles and has a first down.
And the Lake penalty marker comes flying out. He's on the sideline.
Jalen Lake, what can you say about that wide receiver? Let's do it. Great job by Perry to deliver the pass, rolling out, and Blake with the yards after the catch. Conduct after the play against Forest.
That's going to add 15 to an already big play for a first down.
And if the Wildcats had shifted the field at all on Vanguard, the Knights have shifted it right back in a hurry.
These are the penalties you expect in a rivalry game, though. Personal fouls and sportsmanlike.
Now, Schmitty, Connor Fiegel, Forrest's quarterback, just came over to his top wide receiver, J.J. Varney, on the sidelines. Varney still upset at himself for dropping what would have been a first down catch a few moments ago, and Fiegel was putting his arm around him saying, hey, there's a lot more football left to play, buddy. Here's the handoff. It's Chappell again across midfield, breaking tackles, hard hitting out there. Jeremiah Nickel delivered a shot, but Chappell kept on running across midfield. It'll be second down and 4.
Chappell was originally hit 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and was able to fight through that tackle. We got cramps starting to set in. Looks like Gillespie cramping. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
6 seconds left.
Tyree Gillespie was able to leave the field under his own power after cramping up. There's 4.6 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here to bring you to the fourth quarter. Don't hurt yourself doing it. Tom James.
Thank you, Schmitty. So it's second down for Vanguard. They're at the Forest 46-yard line. Second down and 4.
Barring a penalty, this will be the last play of the quarter.
And Nicosi Perry. And that is the end of the third quarter as the clock runs out. And we'll switch ends for a final time. 20-14. Same score we had after 2 quarters is what we have after 3. Vanguard leading Forest by 6. With 1 quarter left to play in this great, great rivalry.
HGG Hotels is your destination for an affordable, inviting night stay. Whether you choose the Holiday Inn Express in Silver Springs, the Howard Johnson's on Highway 27 and I-875, or the Sleep Inn and Suites on I-75 at the Bellevue exit, HGG Hotels is a good and restful night stay. Home insurance, car insurance, motorcycle insurance. Whatever your insurance needs, the McDonald Allstate Agency has you covered. Call the McDonald Allstate Agency for all your insurance needs at 352-622-2333. That's 352-622-2333. Are you in good hands? And now back for the start of the fourth quarter. Here is Forest High School graduate Tom James.
Thank you, Schmitty. Perry out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Got a first down and more down the far sidelines, down near the 30. Nicosi Perry.
That was a quarterback keeper the whole way.
No question. That was the call out of the timeout. And the Knights, again with another opportunity to step on the Wildcats right here. Leading by 6 already.
Oh, that might be a line on football. That ball was snapped. I don't agree with that. The center snapped the football. That's who the illegal safety was. He snapped it. The ball went rolling on the ground. How's that not a live football?
Well, Devontae Jess picked the football up, but it's a procedure penalty against Vanguard.
I don't understand how that's not a live football. The center snapped the football. I don't understand how that's not a live ball.
5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 15. Perry back to throw, and he eludes what would have been a sack and gets the pass away, throws it away out of bounds. But what a missed opportunity that time by the Wildcats.
And by the white hat. Because the guy that was trying to get the sack was being held like a baby just out of the crib.
Randy St. Fleur, the senior defensive lineman who Boy, he all but had Nkosi Perry wrapped up and ready to bring down for a big sack. And Perry wiggled free somehow. 11:28 left in this ball game. 2nd down and 5 for Vanguard at the Forest 35-yard line. Knights lead it 20-14. Perry to throw. Down the far sideline. Pass in and out of the hands of his intended wide receiver, Alonzo Taylor.
And the defensive back that come in to break that up took a thigh pad to the helmet, and Taylor won that because Taylor's about 60 pounds bigger than the defensive back.
Taylor should have had it, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. A holding penalty against the Knights is going to back them up. And once again, Schmitty, they drive into Forest territory, looking to take a 2-score lead on the Wildcats, and somehow they get backed up again. Ball right on the 50-yard line. It's 2nd down and 30.
2nd 29 at least.
And in your terminology, that would be 2nd and...
So they got to pretty much get to, somewhere around Citra.
And Perry again.
Perry back in the throw. Pass.
Who's he throwing to?
He was under all kinds of duress.
And he hit one of his offensive linemen in the back.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 34 tonight.
3rd and about 29.
Still not 4th and 63, though.
In fact, it's 4th and 65 2 weeks ago, Schmidt. I don't know if we've ever seen that before. Not sure I ever want to see it again. Perry, a long way to go. He's going to tuck it under and run. And he's got room to run.
Let's see what they're marching.
Well, that's still the original line of scrimmage. And they mark him to 31, and he's got to get to the 21.
I thought
the first down.
I thought they would mark him where he started to take his slide, and that was about a yard back. So it's still going to be 11 yards.
So it's 4th and 11 for Vanguard.
Where's 14? You need to know where 14 is on the football field.
He's on the near side, and Vanguard not a hint of a thought about kicking this. They are going for it. Takes the throw, then delivers the throw for a first down to Green. Down to the 10-yard line. My goodness.
Well, there's a piece of material on the field at the line of scrimmage.
And an illegal shift against Vanguard.
Vanguard's doing everything they can to shoot themselves in the foot.
So what was nearly a penalty-free first half, and we've seen a bunch of them now. They're making up for it here in the second half. And that big first down for Vanguard down to the 10-yard line of Forest. That gets wiped out. Ball now back to the 35, and it's 4th and 14, and they are going to put it away, the Knights. 20-14, Vanguard clinging to this lead over the Wildcats. And they'll take a timeout with 10:35 left in the game.
Let's take a 30-second timeout. You listen to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week right here on WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Of course.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. 10:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Vanguard visiting Forest. Vanguard up 20-14. Here back on the play-by-play, Tom James.
So the Knights got to punt it away. And here it is. And it's a high kick, but not very deep. And it takes a Forrest roll backwards. A little backspin on it, like one of Smitty's wedge shots into the green. And the Wildcats will have it first down and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
17-yard punt. I would say punting is not Vanguard's strong suit.
Well, Forrest wants to get back into this game. Their offense has got to do something now, Schmitty. Am I wrong?
They have. They're one score away from being tied up. You know, it's not. They just have to put a few plays together and march down the field. Get a little momentum.
Connor Fiegel with two wide receivers to the near side in trips, and the handoff up the middle. Gain of about 4 for Jonathan Williams.
Second down and 7.
We only gave him 3 yards as the clock continuing to tick towards the 10-minute mark. 5 touchdowns in this football game in the first 2 quarters. None in the most recent quarter plus. 20-14 Vanguard. It's where we were at the half. Beagle dancing around back there. Brought down for a loss by Adrian Hope.
Hope is the difference maker on that defensive line for Vanguard. He is joined usually by Ray Wallace, but as you know, the other defensive end, Ray Wallace, ejected in the 3rd quarter.
That's right. Not a sack on that play, as Fiegel actually picked up a yard before being dropped.
3rd and 6.
Big play right here for the Forest Wildcats, and they call timeout.
Let's take a timeout with them, a 30-second timeout. Vanguard 20, Forest 14. 9:03 to go in the 4th quarter. You're listening to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week, brought to you by the McDonald Allstate Agency on WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. Back on the play-by-play, Forest High School graduate, Tom James.
9 minutes, 3 seconds left to play. 4th quarter in the 42nd meeting between Forest and Vanguard. And it's Vanguard 20 for the Wildcats 14. And a big 3rd down and 6 for the Cats. Connor Fiegel with 4 wideouts, 2 to each side, and Chad Dukes in motion, and pressure, and lots of it. And Fiegel is brought down by Dante Spencer. Never had a chance, did Fiegel that time.
Some scores around the area, Tom. Bellevue, 7-6, still in the 3rd quarter. Trinity Catholic 24-14 late in the 3rd quarter over Trinity Prep, and Denellen 42-0 still in the 3rd quarter against the Villages.
Denellen trying to go to 9-0 on this season. Terrific season for the Tigers. And the Cats put it away. They had a great punt. Taken down there inside the 40 by Jenkins, and he makes his way up just shy of the 50-yard line. They'll probably mark it at the 48-yard line. Good return there by Jenkins.
Check that. We have some updates now. The Village is actually losing 48-0 to Denellen. Bellevue is now roared out in the 4th quarter to a 21-6 lead.
How about that?
Over Crescent City. And Trinity Catholic is now late in the 4th quarter, up 41-14 over Trinity Prep.
Coach Yancey and Bellevue looking for their first win of the season. for the Rattlers. 1st and 10 for Vanguard at their own 48-yard line, and the handoff is to Johnny Wyman, and he is dropped by Devontae Jess. There is that man again.
He made the tackle and tackled the offensive lineman at the same time.
It's a loss of 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for Vanguard. Ty Files is the running back in there for the Knights. Perry going to keep it himself. That was the keeper all the way. He's got a 1st down into Forest territory and across the 40-yard line.
A misdirection play that worked to perfection. Get everybody thinking far side, quarterback keeper to the near side.
Smart play. You saw Ty Files head left. Wildcats defense might have been thinking bubble screen. And Perry over 100 yards. High snap over the head of the quarterback, Perry. They recover it all the way back at their own 45. Ty Files jumped on it.
And then got jumped on.
And Ty Files is still down.
That's going to be one of those where the wind's knocked out of you, I believe.
So that snap just sailed.
Let's take a 30-second injury timeout. You're listening to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week live from Forest High School on WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. Ty Files walking off the field with a little assistance, but on his own power. Vanguard coming back out on the field with 7:11 to go in the 4th quarter. Here's Tom James.
Nicosi Perry accounting for over 330 yards total offense for the Vanguard Knights on his own tonight. As the clock ticks under 7 minutes left, it's 2nd down and 22. Perry lobs one down the near sideline. It is incomplete. Good coverage down there that time by O.J. Tucker.
O.J. Tucker is actually pleased with the referee, saying that Lake interfered with his ability to intercept that football.
So it's 3rd and still long. 3rd and 24. 6:47 to play. And Perry takes a snap. Hands off. The handoff to Gillespie, and look at him go, and he has, incredibly, a 1st down. Down inside the 30-yard line of Forest, and that could be the backbreaker in this football game right now. Gillespie, what a run. That time for Vanguard on 3rd and 24, and they pick up the 1st down, and here's Gillespie again, and another good gain.
Gillespie is hurt. Gillespie is right. He's hurt.
Off left tackle, and it looked like he picked up about 6, and he's still down.
Let's take a time out. You're listening to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week, brought to you by the McDonald Allstate Agency on WOCA, The Source.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Take the results with a grain of salt.
The John Tesh Radio Show.
Intelligence for your life.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Marion County Friday Night High School Game of the Week. Ty Gillespie was able to get off the field under his own power, and now both teams are back out on the field. So it's 6:18 to go in the fourth quarter to bring this game home. Here's Forest High graduate Tom James.
He won't let it die. Vanguard can put this football game away if they would like to, but it is Devontae Jess again, dropping Chapel in the backfield. My goodness.
Boy, coach, that hurt.
Devontae Jess.
He's not going to be denied.
So it's 3rd and 8. The pass incomplete across the middle. That one never had a chance, intended for Green, and that will bring up 4th down and 8.
You'll never see this in the stat sheet, but Devontae Jess had taken the whole offensive line and shoved them into Nicosi Perry's throwing motion.
Yeah.
He has decided he's going to take this game on his shoulders.
Now, Vanguard's going to go for it here on a 4th and a long 7. From the Forest 27, Perry going to throw. This side, it is incomplete. And the ball goes over on downs, and again, Vanguard unable to cash in despite driving into Forest territory for the 4th time in this half.
If you ask Skip Austin, with 5 minutes and 31 seconds to go, you down by 6 in the 4th quarter, your senior quarterback, Connor Fiegel, has the football and the opportunity to win the game. I think he takes it every time.
Every time. However, Forest has not shown the ability to sustain a drive in the second half at all. Fiegel back to throw. Tucks it under now, gets rid of it, way down the field, and it is intercepted. Fiegel wants that one back in a big way, and he is slapping his helmet.
Number 25, Avante Krim, coming up with the interception.
Avante Krim picking Fiegel off. Fiegel threw that one way down the field, and it was just one-on-one.
Fiegel is getting an earful of it from his offensive coordinator.
Not what you would expect from the seasoned senior quarterback. Will Forrest get another chance after that? Vanguard takes over after the interception. 1st down and 10 on their own 37-yard line. And it is Chapel. And he is dropped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Clock running, 5:15 and counting.
You won't see that, but number 1 there made Chapel change directions and come back to the center of the line.
20-14, Vanguard. Score has not changed since halftime.
Number 1 for Forest, Devontae Jess, has decided he's not going to be stopped.
Clock continues to run under 5 minutes. Nicosi Perry handing off. It's Chappell, and he gains about 4 up across the 40-yard line.
This is the biggest play of this football game right here.
It's 3rd down and 6 for Vanguard with 4:27 left in this game. The Knights lead it by 6. Can they pick up a first down right here, or will they have to give it back to Forrest? The pass, far side, incomplete. Throw was low, intended for Moses Mention, never had a chance, and that brings up 4th and 6. Gotta believe that Vanguard in their own territory gotta put it away, don't you?
This is what Friday night football is all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Schmitty, Nicosi Perry in the air in the 4th quarter is 0 for 7. And, you know, Schmitty, you said a minute, 20 seconds ago, if the Wildcats could have their way and put the ball in Connor Fiegel's hands with 5:31 left, down by 6, would they take it? Yes. Well, they're going to get another chance with 4:11 on the clock. And a flag out just at the time of the snap.
This could, if this is lined up in the neutral zone, this could be huge, and that's going to be the call.
Are you serious?
It is against the Wildcats.
Lined up in the neutral zone. Now it's going to be 4th and 1. Now Edwin Farmer has a decision to make.
Well, it's going to be 4th and maybe 1, maybe a half a yard. That is a 5-yard penalty against Forrest. Incredible. What a mistake by FHS.
This could be a huge backbreaker. Because then, don't you go for it to try to end the football game?
Well, they will move the football. The officials have yet to step it off. Schmitty, depending on where they spot this thing, it could be a first down. I think it's going to be just short.
It's going to be 4th and 1. They're going to bring the chains out. There's no reason to bring the chains out here. This is 4th and 1. I don't know why they're bringing the chains out here.
Well, they've moved the football and spotted it at the 47-yard line, and the sticks are coming out. If the sticks were where they're supposed to be on the sidelines, it shouldn't even be close. It should be a good yard short, and it will be short.
I mean, I can see that from here, and I'm going blind in both eyes.
That is 4th and nearly a yard now.
And now Edwin Farmer is pulling his punt team off the field.
Well, this is a risky move if you're Edwin Farmer, because you've got the football at your own 47-yard line, and it's 4th and 1, and you've got 4:11 to play. If you go for it, Schmitty, and you don't make it, you're giving the Wildcats a short field.
But you do have big number 7. I bet he goes up under center here.
Do they try to just draw the Wildcats off sides with a hard count and then take a timeout?
I think they're going to try to get it
under center. And now a timeout called for by Skip Austin of the Wildcats.
Wow, high drama here in the 4th quarter of Vanguard Forest.
My goodness.
Home insurance, car insurance, motorcycle insurance, whatever your insurance needs, the McDonald Allstate Agency has you covered. Call the McDonald Allstate Agency for all your insurance needs at 352-622-2333. That's 352-622-2333. Are you in good hands? HDG Hotels is your destination for an affordable night stay. Whether you choose the Holiday Inn Express in Silver Springs, the Howard Johnson's on Highway 27 and I-75, or the Sleep Inn and Suites on I-75 at the Bellevue exit, HDG Hotels is a good and restful night stay. Speaking of HDG Hotels, Tom, in 4 minutes and 11 seconds, we will be awarding the HDG Hotels Player of the Game. But now, back for 4th and 1, here's Tom James.
So here we go. Nicosi Perry under center. 4th and 1. He's going to keep it. And he has got the first down. First down for Perry. He took it left and picks up 2. That's what he needed. Vanguard moves the chains with 4:06 to play. A cut behind Edwin Farmer.
Lining up in the neutral zone cost Forrest the football.
Well, then we'll see. It could have cost them the football game as well. Clock running under 4 minutes. They hand off to Chappell with Devontae Jett. Buries Chappell in the backfield. Is this kid any good, Smitty?
I'm going to watch that on Saturdays for a few years to come, I believe. Unless he plays himself into a better offer.
So a loss of 4 on the Devontae Jett exhibition.
Vanguard doing the smart thing, making that clock as far down as they can.
Still ticking, 3:19, 3:18. Perry takes it himself, picks up about 2 up to the 48. It's still going to be 3rd and 11. Knights have to get down to about the 41 of the Wildcats for another first down.
If I'm Vanguard, I will snap this ball till there's about 40 seconds to go. 2:40 to go.
It hits 2:50. 3rd and 11. Huge play once again. Perry throws near side, overthrown, incomplete.
There's a penalty, and I think you're going to have a hold on Devontae Jett.
It was intended for Calvante Murray.
It's going to be holding. Do they take the penalty?
Holding against Vanguard.
Do they back him up or do they refuse this? Holding. That penalty is declined. It's going to be 4th and 11 now, Tom, with 2:37 to go. And there's only 1 timeout left for Forrest.
Well, Cats have 9 lives, Schmitty. So they say.
Well, the defense has done their job without question. Is the offense going to pick their defense up?
The defense has, no doubt, for the Wildcats, done its job here in the second half. They've bended, but have not broken. The offense, though, has not done much at all. The low snap on the punt, it's in the air. Going to bounce at the 34 and roll dead at about the 22. So, the Forest Wildcats haven't beaten the Vanguard Knights since 2011. 2 minutes, 29 seconds remain in this ballgame. And Forest with 1 more chance. They'll start this drive at their own 22-yard line, 78 yards away from potentially winning the football game.
Partner, if it was me, I'd try to figure out some way to get Devontae Jett to the football game.
Well, Connor Fiegel has a chance to redeem himself. And Fiegel is back to throw. Fiegel rolling right under pressure, and he is dropped. Sacked by Adrian Hope. Fiegel was trying to get away and just couldn't escape Hope.
You've got to have that clock in your head that says you've been there too long, throw it away, and live for it to be 2nd and 10.
The ball on the 14. Now a quick throw near side, and it's Dukes makes the catch for 1 yard. Up at the 17, gain of about 3, but the clock is still running. It's at 1:43, 1:42. And it's 3rd and long. Fiegel back to throw. Over the middle. Throws. It's fumbled and dropped. But the flag comes out.
They're going to get defenseless receiver, and you're going to get a personal foul here. Watch what I'm telling you.
Alan Miller was the intended receiver, bobbled it around, couldn't haul it in, but then a big hit happened, and the flag came out. Forrest thinks it's going to go their way. Minute 34 to play. 20-14.
If you ask me, you just saw good football, but people are worried about head injuries. It's a mean, nasty game. You don't want your kids to play it? Let them play soccer. But that doesn't happen these days.
And they're waving off a flag.
Good by the referees to get together, to have that conversation and say that was good football and wave that flag off. I think that's the right call. Doesn't sit well with the Forest faithful, but that's because they want Forest to win and don't really care about the rules of football. I can see that.
So we've got 1:34 to play. It's 4th down and 14 for the Wildcats. They've got the football at their own 17-yard line. 4 wide receivers. Eagle back to throw, rolling near side. Uncorks it down the field. It's intercepted by Vanguard. And that should do it. It's Ty Farmer. Wow. Coach's son picks it off.
A big linebacker like that playing center field. And it's going to be talked about for days, the non-call that was a call and then was picked up on what looked like to some a defenseless receiver, but to this person looked like a very good football play. And the parking lot is starting to get busy.
1:24 left to play. And all Vanguard and Nicosi Perry have to do now is take a knee, and he takes one.
Once again, we want to thank all the class of 75 crew. We got a couple of 76s here as well. We also want the class of 1980.
Clock hits 1 minute. Checking. We will award the HDG Hotels Player of the Game here momentarily as Vanguard. 45 seconds away from winning its 4th straight in this great rivalry. The clock stops with 44 seconds left as they took the delay of game penalty. And that moves the football back to the 25. And Perry takes the snap and again takes the knee. And Forrest calls timeout, and that'll make it 3rd down. Fascinating football game. All kinds of back and forth action in the first 2 quarters of this game. Vanguard went to the half leading it 20-14. We played a 3rd quarter, nearly all of a 4th quarter, and our score is still 20-14 in favor of the Knights, who need to likely take just one more knee, Schmitty, and that probably ought to do it.
Partner, I believe the knee will be taken by our HDG Hotels Player of the Game, Vanguard's Nicosi Perry.
Couldn't agree more.
He had, on the night, he was 14-25, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 of them rushing.
That's quite a night. That is quite a night. And he takes the ball and takes a knee, and it's a little pushing and shoving down there right at the whistle.
Number 1 is right in the middle of it.
Imagine that. Devontae Jeff's always in the eye of the storm. Boy, can he play football.
Well, this is
and I tell you what, if Forrest had won this football game, that would have been your player of the game, Devontae Jeff. Instead, the clock ticks, 13, 12, 11. Forrest and Vanguard for the 42nd time is nearly in the books. Whistle blows and the flag comes out for delay of game with 4.1 seconds left in this great rivalry.
And now Vanguard is called timeout.
And it'll bring up 4th down, Schmitty. So here's what the situation that you have is 4th down. Now, do you poke the football? Do you poke the football and risk having a Michigan State situation?
Well, what you do here, N'Kosi Perry gets in the shotgun, he takes the snap, and he runs towards the sideline, and he runs until somebody tackles him or the horn blows. That's what you do. You let the kid who's the best athlete on the field run around until somebody can stop him. Or you let him run around, if you have to, run out the back of the end zone. You let N'Kosi Perry in the shotgun run this clock out.
But it looks like Perry is going to get up.
He better not take a knee.
Under center. And he's going to run. And he's rolling and rolling. And he just dropped. Is that it?
That is it.
The Forest coaches want time back on the clock. And he may get some time. Skip Austin is going to get time back on this clock. Now, Perry was brought down inside the 10-yard line with what appeared by the naked eye to look like about 0.8 seconds. And Vanguard started to celebrate. The Forest coaches ran out on the field to the officials and said, wait a minute, as soon as you dropped before clock time ran out. Now, will Forest get time inside Vanguard's 10-yard line?
Let's see what the referee is saying. They're going to put time back on this clock, Tom James.
Wow. Oh, not I. It's all Virginia goal wanted on the 5-yard line. This ball is not over. First and goal at Vanguard's 5-yard line. Holy cow! They're going to put 0.7 seconds on the clock. Wow. And that is the risk you take. That is the risk you take by having your quarterback run around down there. He went down to
make sure there's no penalty here. An offensive penalty, the game's over.
And here we go. Improbably, Forest has one final chance from the 5-yard line to tie this game. Eagle takes the snap, throws to the end zone. It is incomplete. Vanguard has won.
Why would you throw a fade into double coverage on that call? Vanguard offers the game up on a golden platter, and Skip Austin calls a play I don't understand.
Vanguard has defeated Forest, and we think the game is over. Is it over? It's over.
That may go down as one of the worst play calls I've ever seen in my life.
The final score, Vanguard 20, Forest 14, in a game that the likes of which we've not seen many of. Wow. Vanguard is your district champion.
I'm stunned. They get it handed to them first and goal from the 5, and they throw a fade to the back corner of the end zone. That makes no sense to me. Well, Parker, it was the best one we've had in the 4 years we've been doing it. But it still came out on Vanguard's side. 20-14, Vanguard wins the Marion County Friday Night High School game in the week against Forest. Brought to you by the McDonald Offset Agency, your HDG Hotels player of the game. N'Kosi Perry 333 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, one of them rushing. It was the game we thought it was going to be, but it ended in a fashion that makes 0 sense to this announcer.
Well, an incredible finish that nearly was even more incredible. I'm not sure how many times I've ever seen a game end the way that one did, where Vanguard handed Forrest one shot from the 5-yard line. Forrest could not cash in as Connor Fiegel threw incomplete to the corner of the end zone looking for a fade, threw it into double coverage, incomplete, and one final desperation chance goes for naught, and Vanguard defeats Forrest. Once again, 20-14, and the Knights open up a 3-game lead in the all-time series between these two teams. It's Vanguard 22 wins, Forrest 19 with 1 tie.
Partner, next week it's off to watch Denellen take on Westport as our final game of the Marion County Friday Night Game of the Week takes place next week. Look for us then. Kickoff pregame at 7:15, kickoff at 7:30 for Richard Hildebrandt, a Vanguard High School graduate. Tom James, a Forest High School graduate. For Luke Sylvia, a Bellevue High School graduate. I'm Tom Schmidt, a Chamblee, Georgia High School graduate, saying, have a good night, everybody.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
Thank you for listening to the Marion County High School Game of the Week, sponsored by McDonald Allstate Agency and HTG Hotels. Now, back to the program.